In the first video, we covered importing our transaction data and our outstanding checks. This video covers automated and manual transaction matching. Let's start by reviewing the automated matching rules. They are check to check, void to issue, alphanumeric, user-defined, which can take into account amount, transaction type, site number, and a date range, and amount. The check-to-check matching rule is probably the most common and is a good example of how matching works. When using the check-to-check rule, our matching engine first looks at checks that have cleared the bank. For example, if the first cleared check is check number 1234 for $100, BankRec looks in the general ledger for check number 1234. If the general ledger record is found, it then looks at the amount, $100. After confirming the general ledger record hasn't been used in a match already, the records are marked as matched and assigned an audit trail group number. BankRec continues its high-speed matching until it is attempted to match all records. When the first rule has been run, it starts the next matching rule and continues until all the rules have been run. Now let's kick off the matching process. Select Matching from the home screen. After all the matching rules have been run, BankRec displays the unmatched bank records on the left and the unmatched general ledger records on the right. Out of all the bank and general ledger data, these are the only unmatched records. Think of this as a cleanup window where you can manually match records. Immediately, we can see one set of records that can be manually matched. In the general ledger data, we see a deposit of $17,000 and an offsetting correcting journal entry for $250. The deposit should have been booked in the GL for $16,750. On the bank side, we see the $16,750 deposit. We'll match these records. Notice once the records are selected and in balance, the Match Bank to GL button is activated. When selected, these three records are marked as matched and assigned an audit trail group number. You can also set BankRec to allow for out-of-balance matching up to a certain amount. Select Out-of-Balance Match for detailed information. You can now continue to match additional records, or you can come back at any time to finish your cleanup. Before covering unmatched records, let's take a quick look at the records already matched. Go to the Reports tab, All Reports, and scroll down to Matched Only. I select All Periods and Run. Notice the first audit trail groups were matched with their check matching rule and only contain 2 members. These one-to-one matches contain 1 bank member and 1 general ledger member. As we scroll through the Matched Only report, we see credit card deposit matches. These records were matched using the user-defined matching rule, which took into account each record's date, amount, site number, and record type. At the bottom, we can see the match we just made manually. It has 3 members, 1 bank member for $16,750 and 2 general ledger members netting the same amount. Have advanced matching needs? Matching records with a unique identifier, such as a check number, is pretty easy. But what happens when you have transactions without a check number or a unique transaction ID? While you could match using amount, we don't recommend it since some matches could be false. For example, if you own several stores, you wouldn't want to match a $100 cash deposit from Store 1 with a $100 Amex deposit from Store 2. A more reliable strategy is to assign as many attributes as possible to each transaction. With BankRec, you can assign a transaction type such as ACH, credit cards, or wires to each transaction. You can actually create an unlimited number of your own categories. To assign transaction types, use the Cite and Type rules. These rules let you search for certain text within the transaction and automatically assign it to a category. Please remember to create the rules in pairs, one for the bank and one for the general ledger. Please see Video 3 to learn more about working with unmatched items and our reconciliation report.